We continued our way north. The wood was becoming ever darker as tall cedars were competing for the rays of sun. Birds flew past to examine the strange animals daring to adventure in the wilderness. We hadn't stopped at all and hadn't eaten anything to gain lead from my pursuers. The forest shades became darker and the wind whispered ever louder among the leaves. "There it is," he told me after some time of a dusty ride. "Sidon." I raised my head and I saw the city. Much bigger than Tyre, but by far more vulnerable. Nobody checked us at the gate. We entered the city and continued our way towards the harbour. He stopped the cart in front of an anchored boat. The sun had become orange in a pink sky. The sea was still and the air stagnant, giving the boat an unearthly look as if it were to fly away and into that reddish sun. We embarked the same evening. On the boat, space was limited. On our left, another cart, and on our right, a small pen for the animals, with some hay and water. My bull mooed happily as he tasted the hay. The night had fallen, and the port went silent as we entered our wagon and lay down on some thick covers. We were exhausted and slept immediately, turned one towards the other. We woke up by the voice giving rhythm to the oars, and we realized the calm rocking of a welcoming sea. Some sailors were preparing the sails. We looked back towards the port we had left behind. I saw men arriving galloping on horses, and among them I thought I saw my brother Phoenix. I pressed the arm of Apollonius. They had discovered my departure, but arrived too late. Probably Phoenix had figured out we were taking the boat to Crete and galloped the whole night to reach us. But he and his men had arrived late. We couldn't believe our luck. The day went smoothly. The wind was light but steady. "If it is continuous like that, we shall arrive in 2 days," announced the captain. This was not to happen. During the night, the wind rose and the sea changed. Nothing could foretell the weather change. Rain started, and we were ordered to tie up everything, the carts and all the things inside them, to avoid them moving and hitting anybody or becoming obstacles to the operations on board. We heard a big noise as if wood was cracking. The boat changed its orientation and more water came in, and another coming wave threw us overboard. I swam my way up in the cold water. I was now floating, and I could hear the voices of the sailors trying to swim back to the boat. Apollonius called my name, but he sounded far away, and every time I tried to call back, water filled my mouth. I thought I'd drown. Their waves battered me, and I could hardly float. I could not see the boat anymore, and all the voices went silent. In the darkness, paralyzing fear arose in me, and my thoughts went to my bull. Had he gone down with the boat? The sea was dark and cold, the waves merciless, and swimming had no sense anymore. Fear became panic, which filled me to my toes, and I felt my powers abandoning me. Is this why I left my family? Is this the fate that the gods had reserved for me, swallowed by the deep dark sea? Astarte, why have you deceived me? You goddess, who sweetly talked to me dreams of freedom, why have you turned your eyes away from me? Had I better marry this old pharaoh then? Death in freedom and death in slavery are the same, but death by drowning in the cold dark sea is a dreadful end. I felt something hard on my back and a lift. Terror overwhelmed me as I remembered childhood stories of the sea monster. My eyelids relaxed and I lost conscience. Better die before being devoured by the terrible sea creature.